could you just give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. My name's Devine, and I run marketing for a software company called Workfusion. And what we do is help very, very large companies use a combination of cognitive automation and robotic automation to remove the manual effort of a lot of common, repetitive, menial tasks like extracting information from an unstructured format or opening and closing applications on a desktop.
Right. So how's NILF 2016 been for you so far? How's the experience been?
The experience has been extraordinary. I've met some of not only the biggest thinkers and biggest doers in India, but also the biggest thinkers and doers from all over the world. So it's been a great education and an incredible networking opportunity.
Are there any sessions you're particularly looking forward to?
So there's a session tomorrow by Anand Agarwal, who is the founder of edX, and he's talking about reimagining education. That's at 10:05 tomorrow. I think that's going to be a fascinating session.
Okay. One of the key themes this year, of course, is disruption. If I could ask you to just sum it up and break it all down, what does disruption mean?
So disruption means suddenly stopping or being forced to stop the way you do something, the way you've done it for a long time, and rethink how you do it. And there's been a lot of technology that have been introduced in the last year or two and that will be introduced in the next few years that's going to cause a lot of very big, powerful businesses to rethink the way they deliver their service.
Now you talked about, you just spoke about the businesses that are going to see this happen. Do you think there's an industry or a sector that is most vulnerable right now, that you think could see major disruption in the next year or two perhaps?
Well, there are pieces, actually yeah, there really is. I mean the BPO and the KPO business is very vulnerable right now. They've built their revenues on labor arbitrage, on deploying very, very smart people to do relatively repetitive, routine work, and that's been great for the economy. They've built incredible businesses and they've delivered real value to multinational corporations. And I would say that they would be vulnerable were they not being so aggressive about rethinking how they deliver value to their customers and how they actually engage their employees. So I'd say there's potential vulnerability, but what I'm seeing from the biggest leaders in the BPO and KPO world is that they're taking a very aggressive approach on disrupting themselves before the market disrupts them.
All right. Of course, when it comes to automation, which is also a major theme this year, you are the person to ask. Do you think there will ever come a time when robots and computers will do all the work and we're sitting at home on vacation? Because, I mean, right now you're being interviewed by a robot as we speak. Do you think there'll ever come a time when they'll do all the work and we can just sit at home?
I think they will be our best collaborators. I think there will come a time, certainly in my lifetime, probably in the next 10 years, where the best business partner for a creative, entrepreneurial, solid human thinker is going to be a robot that does, or an algorithm that does a lot of the computation and a lot of the processing work and leaves the real creative problem-solving work to a person. As far as doing all of the work, all is a very big word. I believe in the plasticity of the human mind, and I think no matter how advanced machines become, we will always find meaningful work for a person to do. It just won't be the really boring, repetitive stuff.
Okay. And one last question. If I could ask you to sum up NILF 2016 in one word, what would that one word be?
Hopeful.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
So, you know, I think what we've done with NILF is collect some of the most powerful leaders in the services world. And in the face of the data that we're seeing right now about the future of knowledge work and how much automation is going to take away from what has historically been the revenue from the services world, every leader that I've talked to, and I've met the founder of Cognizant, I've talked to the CEO of Tech Mahindra, I met with the chairwoman of Accenture. They are all incredibly hopeful because they know that they have the power to rethink how they provide services to customers. So there's a lot of hope about not only the potential for all this new technology to innovate the way they deliver services, but there's also a lot of hope about how people will make their income, like at an employee level. So that's what I mean by hope.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you so much for taking the time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.